Kid LAROI in 2024 has been going crazy, man. He's dropped a whole bunch of music this year, but there's one thing that he keeps revisiting, and it's Y2K type beats. He gave us the song Girls off of the First Time Deluxe, and he just dropped Slow It Down featuring Quavo, which is a fire song. I just finished making a fire beat in the same style, and I kind of wanted to break it down for you guys and show you what elements and what inspiration I drew from both songs to help make what I made. If you're unfamiliar with what a Y2K type beat is, it's basically R&B elements, hip hop elements, pop elements, and even electronic music all mashed into one thing to create this upbeat type of vibe that artists like Timbaland and the Neptunes were all famous for back in the early 2000s. Hence the name Y2K beat, year 2000. The driving element in these type of beats has to be the drums, and that's exactly where I started with my beat. Now you notice that it's not the same two-step hi-hat, clap on the 3, and 808s that we're used to hearing in today's modern hip-hop trap music. It's actually quite the opposite, and it's pretty empty if you ask me. Nevertheless though, it does drive the beat a ton, and it creates a fire bounce. To start with, I added a snare and a clap layered on top of each other, hitting on the 2 and the 4. After that, I added a kick, and to do this, you kind of have to go back and do your homework and listen to these types of songs and these types of beats to really understand how the groove goes. Next crucial element to the drum bounce in a Y2K type beat is the shaker. The shaker is used as a hi-hat for these type of beats, but it's not as simple as just a regular two-step. Again, you kind of have to just go back and do your own homework to figure out where to place these shaker hits. This is what I came up with. I found that changing the notes actually helps create more of like a realistic bounce, almost like if somebody's actually playing the hi-hat. And then I also came in here and panned left and right to kind of make it feel like the drums are almost moving in a sense. Once you've got those 3 sounds, you're pretty much done with the drum bounce for these type of beats. However, you should probably go in and add different percussions to kind of fill up the empty space and also help drive the rest of the groove. For me, I used a DJ scratch, a triangle, and this perk loop that I found off of Splice. Once I had the drums down, I moved on to the melody. I noticed there was one sound that was in both songs, and it was strings, so that's what I used to come up with these chords in my beat. There really wasn't any music theory that I was thinking of while making this chord progression, other than the fact that I started with basic triads and then added some notes where I think sounded good. One thing I did keep in mind while making this progression was just to leave space. I went with the staccato string type of vibe just because that's exactly what it's supposed to do, is leave space, and it sounds really good with the drums. The next thing I did was add bass, and this is what that sounds like. I went into Analog Labs to find an electronic synth bass, and this one just kind of fit the vibe. There's really not much going on here. I followed the root notes, and then right before the chord change, I added some notes that I thought sounded good. Again, not really too much music theory going through my head while making this. It was just a lot of trial and error on what sounded good and what didn't. Putting those 2 sounds together gives me the verse section. In the song Slow It Down, the verse melody has a more stabby and spacious approach to it, whereas in the chorus, the sustain really comes out of these string sounds. So I kind of did a mix of both for my chorus. These first 2 I left sustained, and then I went back to the stabby sound, and then same thing here. It sounds pretty cool actually. I didn't change any of the notes in the bass for the chorus section, but I did drag these notes out so that they sustain as long as the chords. So far, this is what the melody in the chorus is sounding like. While that does sound cool, it felt like something was still kind of missing, so I went back to slow it down and I listened to the chorus section, and I noticed there was these solo violin melodies that were kind of playing in the empty space of the chords. By knowing what key I was in, I was able to load up a violin sound from Expand and kind of just mess around on my MIDI keyboard to see what sounded good. These are the melodies that I came up with to fill up the extra space. Even with those melodies added on top of the chords, I still felt like there was one sound that could just tie it all together and make it feel complete. I went back one last time to the song Slow It Down and I listened to the chorus section, and I found that there was a top line violin that was kind of just adding extra notes and melody to the chords that were already there. So that's exactly what I added to my beat, and it sounds like this. After I put that down, the chorus melody finally felt complete, and here's what it sounds like. Before I let you listen to what the final beat sounds like, I kind of want to just go over the arrangement a little bit, starting with the intro. I went for the Pharrell 4-count style intro, adding one of the little violin melodies on top of the kick and the bass. Underneath that, I kind of accidentally stumbled upon this while I was adding a riser effect to the rest of the arrangement, but it sounds pretty badass. After the intro, it goes into this verse section right here. I pitched the strings down a whole octave, and I even added more violin melodies just for the verse. Then we have this pre-chorus section right here, same melody, same drums. I did add a filter right here just to kind of give it some build to the drop, which is right here. This is the drop, just a 8-bar chorus, and then it just repeats over and over. Verse, pre-chorus, chorus, verse, pre-chorus, chorus. That's pretty much it. I'm super excited to continue to hear more of this vibe from the Kid LAROI. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. I'm gonna let you guys listen to the full beat now. Thanks for watching.